Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports, and welcome back to the Villa, where we're joined by the biggest Aston Villa fan in the United States, Mr. Aaron Slater. Aaron, how you doing?
I could be better, but Villa could be even more better. So,
Yeah. So it's been about a week since we last spoke.
yep,
We had three matches in
yep.
the intermeeting time. How'd that go overall? How you feeling?
Well, it was a series of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So
All
you
right.
pick where we want to start.
Okay. Let's start off with good news. I
Okay.
want to start the show off on a good foot. What was the good from this weekend?
The good was Villa beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, where you beat them 1-0. So we were able to hold a team. We were able to hold a team going away to less than what we've been giving up. We've been giving up goals left and right away. So it was good for Villa to see them not only have a shutout, but get a win away as well. Um,
Perfect.
yeah, exactly. This was a good matchup. Realistically, Villa probably dominated for most of the match. They didn't have as big of a possession. It was more of a 50-50 the whole entire time. Um, but Emi Martinez was probably the man of the match for me. He was on top of his head. He saved goals, goal opportunities left and right for Villa there, and we dominated. Actually, we didn't really dominate, but we handled the midfield really well. The only thing that Chelsea really had going for them was Raheem Sterling running down the right, and that was pretty much it. The Chelsea got a red card in the 58th minute, which actually went to VAR and was initially. So, if you want to hear the most fun thing, uh, I don't want to call it a thing because it's just an interaction with fans. Um, Go to the 57th minute and watch what happens. So the the ref pulls out a yellow for the tackle on Luka Dean, and then the VAR officials are like, "Okay, we need to go check this out to make sure it wasn't malice." I don't remember who the ref was. It was Jared Gillett. He goes to the monitor and he checks it out and he comes back. So then he does the VAR signals thing and he pulls out his yellow card and he disallows it. The crowd goes wild. They're like, yeah, that wasn't a yellow card. And then he switches pockets and he goes to the red card. And everybody's like, what just happened?
Oh my God. So in your opinion, was it worthy of a red card? I mean, I assume yes. You think we'll say yes because they reviewed it and they confirmed it, but I wanted to ask, how do you
Sure.
feel about it?
It's a red card.
Mhm.
He didn't get enough of the ball in the tackle. If you watch, he was studs up and he went shin high, and those three ingredients will get you a booking at the bare minimum. And because of how hard he went in as well, it's a red card. There was really no complaints from the player himself, so he kind of knew it was coming or wasn't surprised that he actually got a red card in the end.
Yeah. The only swinging shins we like is the podcast swinging its shins, not when it actually
That
happens.
that is true. It's gruesome because their shin pads are like Tic Tacs.
Right. Oh man. So anything else from this match before we move on to we'll do the bad next, but anything else from this one?
Ollie Watkins got off the mark, scored a goal, and that was the goal that got us the winner in the 74th ish, 73rd minute. He had been, ragged on by a bunch of fans and not doing enough, but he was able to get off the mark in this match, and it was the game winner. So, uh, pretty good for him, thankfully. So, hopefully, more goals will come from him in other situations.
Definitely. So we're leaving the Premier League now. We're going to these other cups and tournaments that I don't fully understand, but luckily you're here to guide us through. So what was the bad of this 3 game weekend, or I guess week rather?
The bad has to be Legia Warsaw. Um, have you ever experienced a game where you kind of feel the rage build up into your chest, and then it goes to your ears, and your ears start to get hot, and then your
Mhm.
face starts to get flush and hot.
I think for me, I'm more like the depressed type of person
Hmm.
where I'm just like, yeah, of course this would happen. Why do I even care? Why do I even root for this team? That's me. I'm a big sad boy, but I definitely can understand where you're coming from.
I that is what I was experiencing, was just this built up. I- The most I I texted Rhett and I go, I am so mad right now. I might rage puke. I was so pissed in and the reason I said this game was the bad was because we went down one, we came back and scored a goal. We went down two, we came back and scored a goal. So we had responses for these goals. We didn't look entirely sloppy in that match. I'll tell you what, I watched that match in Legia Warsaw, that stadium in Poland. They had this gigantic T-foil of a gorilla.
Okay, okay.
It was incredible, and I
Mhm.
was like, "These dudes mean business. This fan base here is hostile, and
Yeah.
not like they're gonna throw bows at people and stuff like that, which actually I think happened. I think fans or players got assaulted. I can't quite remember, but
Yeah.
um, fans did interfere with other fans or players, but their their atmosphere is wild, and you can tell that Villa. It was Villa's first time being in a European competition. They didn't know what to expect. They came out flat. They gave up a goal in 3 minutes, which personally I think could have happened in Hibernia if that match, if Hibernia was actually a better quality team. Um, something about these cup matches, man, where Villa just is flat. They're flat. They come out flat and then they stay flat and then they go and they score later in the matches. And not in this particular one, but the next one we'll talk about how that happens. But they just are flat when they come out and play, and they just seem tentative and almost scared to take advantage of we're the better team kind of thing. And it was kind of painful to watch, and that's where that rage was coming from. Like, you guys are the better team. Play like the better team. Play like how Unai wants you to play. And that's where this match was before the Chelsea match. And I had said to um, Rhett and whomever I was texting at the time, watch Unai have this squad as laser focus for the next match as possible, and that's what had happened in the Chelsea match. So um, this Legia Warsaw team is a good squad. Their forwards are good. They get into positions. They hit the ball early, and then caught Villa's defense. A rotated team, by the way, I should say. They started Cullum Chambers and uh, Langley as well. A couple defenders that haven't had a lot of playing time. And Cullum Chambers can go f off. He can go get banished to whatever Polish dungeon they have, because it was brutal watching him. He gave up all three goals. It was
Right.
brutal,
Mhm.
or was responsible for all three goals. They didn't give them up, but
Mhm.
um, John Duran scored the goal that leveled them back up, and that was a really good goal. It was actually a rebound off the crossbar from Zanilo's shot that was a hell of a strike. And then Luka Dean also had a favorable deflection go his way that tied it back up at 2. And then the third goal, you could just tell everybody was flat. They were done. After Legia scored the third one, they were done. They wanted no part in Poland anymore. They're just like, get me home. Get me back to England, man.
Right. Oh man. All right. So finally here. Give me the ugly. What was the ugliest part of this week?
The ugliest part of this week was today's match, which is Wednesday. We played the Carabao Cup against Everton. Uh, Earlier in the season, we had Everton at home and in the league. We beat them 4-0. We were hoping for the same type of reaction, and we were just as sloppy, if not incredibly worse, in this match. Yuri Tielemans was terrible. he actually, out of 10, scored a 4.9. That's how bad he was. It
Not great.
no, it, you could start to tell that some of these players are getting a little bit tired.
Mm.
Like they're looking for that
With all
international
these
break.
games, right?
Right, 3 games in 7 days. I mean, it's crazy. And I think some of the fans and myself out of the transfer window were hoping for more players, whether it be
Yep.
loan-ins or permanent stays, and we didn't get that. In fact, we sent out players with Aaron Ramsey,
Mhm.
Jaden Philogene Bedance, and Cam Archer, all
Mhm.
sold off to other teams. And now this is where it's starting to bite us in the butt because these players are starting to get a ton of minutes on their legs. Leon Bailey is now probably a hamstring injury because of the way he came off. Nobody was around him, and he just
Mhm.
pulled up.
Yep.
So there's another senior player that's down and hurt. Uh, the players that they played were Leander Dendonka, fringe player, played like a fringe player, just terrible. Um, Matt Olson, excuse me. Robin Olson, their backup goalkeeper, didn't have too much to do, but look, just not somebody who I want in the back of the sticks there. Uh, Yuri Tielemans was a free player. We didn't pay anything but wages for him, and he's looking like an expensive free player right now. It's just nobody clicked this match.
Yeah. No good.
There was turnovers, turnovers that led to goals.
Mm.
There just was no cohesiveness in this team whatsoever until the last 15 minutes
Mhm.
when they decided to need to play to score goals.
Yep.
And then there was a goal out of Boubacar Kamara, who was subbed in at half,
Mhm.
and he got his first goal. So congratulations to him. He got his first goal in Villa, Claret and Blue there. So at any silver lining, that's it right there.
Right.
It was a tough match. It was
Mhm.
tough and it was embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, at least it wasn't in the Premier League, I guess.
This is true. I at the very least now we have one less cup to worry about for players
Mhm.
on legs, and I know that's a terrible silver lining because you should want your team to play for trophies as well. And
Sure.
I understand that it's the Carabao Cup, and it's the puppet cup. Nobody really cares about that. It's just money. It's all money.
Yep.
There's no real reason for it, but
Mm.
um, yeah, it, at least it's not the league.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh wow. So we got who we got next here?
we got Brighton.
We
Brighton
got
at
Brett.
home.
All right. So how you feeling going into this match?
I had predicted a 2-1 win for Villa because we're at home and our home park is in a fortress. Um, so hopefully, again, we lost, and Unai's probably going to have this team super focused again to want to beat a team that's ahead of them in the table. And if we beat them in the league, we would we wouldn't unless we score 4, 5. If we score 5 and hold them to nothing, we would hop them and go into third-ish. We would be above them, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Focus on winning, and then
I will take a 1-0
yeah.
win. That is totally fine with me. I'll also take a 2-1 win because that's
Mm.
just what I predicted, and it gets me 3 points in the whole point circuit that we
Yep.
have going for us. Uh,
Yeah. Are you currently on top of that?
I am not. Woodsy
No.
is. I
Okay.
am behind by 1 point.
All right.
Everybody's
That's
within
fine.
one
Okay.
point of each other.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a tight race we got going for each other. Villa still hold the head to head here, 6 wins to 5 draws to 1 win.
Mm.
And I looked back a while ago, and in the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 matches, Villa have won the matches 2-1 or 2-0 at least. So
Mm.
there is some uh, momentum history on our side. So let's see
Mm.
what happens there. I I think we'll be okay. I think I want us to be okay. I can see this happening as a draw too and take a point. I'll be happy with that because
Mm.
Brighton are an incredible team and they're very well drilled with Deserby as their manager.
Mhm. All right. Well, is there anything else before we get on out of here?
We actually recorded Swinging at Shins yesterday, so I have a little.
All right, tease it up.
This week we talked about the North London Derby, so
Mhm.
that was the uh, big ticket game for
Yeah.
match day 6,
Mhm.
and we discussed how each team and where they stand in relation to progressing, getting better in their own rights. So,
All right. So go check that out again. Swinging Shins, always the top link in the description here on Wicked Sports. As for me, we got all kinds of sports stuff going on. I
mm,
assume we will cover the NBA trade news. Damian Lillard getting traded to Milwaukee
yeah.
at some point. Not exactly sure when that will be, but
So Wes Edens is actually the owner for
yes,
the Bucks, and he's part owner of Villa.
yeah. So big win for him in the NBA, if not in the Cup today. So mixed emotions, I'm sure, but
I'm sure. Yeah, right.
but yeah, huge trade there. Then, of course, we got NBA talk happening with the Saints and the Dolphins specifically. And of course, Bruins. Chris is all over that.
Mm,
We're getting close. Got like 3 weeks until regular season hockey comes back. So it's going to be a busy time, but very
mhm.
exciting. And then if you're somehow not sick of hearing from me after listening to all of these, we got a whole other podcast channel. It's Better Radio. If you're into reality television, specifically reality social strategy games, we got our Big Brother podcast, the Have Not Room, and Survivor is coming back at the time of recording in like an hour and 45 minutes. I'm
Oh,
very
dang.
excited. That's a show that I love. So check that out, The Blindsiders. And other than that, Aaron, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brian.
We'll see you all in the next one.